second women's doubles. In the form of the sisters, who of course played the first two matches, played singles, first and second singles, to get this tie underway. Now teaming up together to play the doubles. Aris and Rena Wang up against Misaki, Matsutomo and Ayaka, Takahashi. Well, you can see there are 4 courts in action here at the Wuhan magnificent stadium it is here. Wonderful sporting complex. In the main stadium there's a magnificent swimming pool here as well, and this arena. Badminton this week, but I understand basketball played here, many sports played here. Rightly so, it is an impressive arena. So, of course, this is the 24th staging of the Uber Cup, 27th staging of the Thomas Cup, because the Thomas Cup came into existence before the Uber Cup. But here come our players for our 5th and final match here on day 1 of competition. Just to remind you, of course, that this is Group D in the Uber Cup. Japan, the number 2 seeds, Denmark, also in the group, and of course United States of America.
Misaki, Matsutomo, Ayaka, Takahashi. Representing United States of America, Rena, Wang.
Rena da Silva, our umpire. Ian Spear will be the service judge, our court officials for this 5th match within the tie.
Red, yellow.
And how difficult, Steen, is it for players playing more than one match within the tie? Of course, the rules of the competition say if you're playing singles and doubles, you must play your singles first, and you must be given as long as possible. So there's a set formation set by the BWF World Federation on the ideal order of play, and you deviate from that if there's players playing more than once. But, you know, these two players in the doubles now, where they've both played singles, they've both lost. How much of an effect does that have on them coming into this doubles?
It's difficult to say for this match, but if the match was a little bit more close and you really relied on the players to score a point in the singles and possibly one in the doubles as well, it would be a big concern in deciding the lineup. From the Denmark side, we have sometimes used Camilla Martin when she was playing in both the singles and the women's doubles, and we've had some considerations also about letting Tine Baum play the ladies doubles. She's an excellent ladies doubles player, but if the single is quite close, or it is expected to be quite close, it sometimes affects the concentration that you have to prepare for another match.
So looking first of all at the 20-year-old from Tokushima, Misaki Matsutomo, silver medalist incidentally at the World Junior Championships in women's singles, was Matsutomo. Her partner, Takahashi. As you can see, they are 21 in the world ranking at the moment, and a positive win-loss record for the year. Takahashi is 22 years of age, and already 3 titles to their names. So for the American pairing, there's Rena Wang, the 20-year-old, both of the sisters born in Pasadena in California. Her younger sister, 17-year-old Aris. world ranking at the moment of 32. And completely even on the win-loss record for the year. But they did reach 3 semi-finals from 3 tournaments played. Poland, Finland and Peru. And in fact, these two pairs have met each other twice previously. On both occasions, though, the matches were won by the Japanese pairing. Last time they met, though, was in the semi-final of the Russian Grand Prix event last year. 2 straight games. Both of them have been 2 straight games. And last time they met, 21-18, 21-14. So close enough that we can hope for a good encounter here. Just asking the players to get ready. Rena de Silva of Sri Lanka.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, USA, represented by Irishman Wang. And on my left, Japan, represented by Misaki, Matsutomo, Ayaka, Takahashi. Japan to serve, Ayaka, Takahashi to Irishman. Low ball, play.
So the 5th and final match in the overall tie, second women's doubles, gets underway.
Service over, 1 low.
Well, good start by the Americans. Oh, that's a lovely put away, short, sharp movement of the racket head, tapping the shuttle down. Found the line.
Service over, 3-1. Service over, 2-3. Service over, 4-2.
Good smash.
Service over, 3-4.
Steve, what's your opinion on Matsutomo and the fact that excelled initially in World Badminton, albeit at junior level in singles, but now wants to concentrate 100% at doubles?
Yeah, it was interesting because I wasn't aware that she was a medalist in the World Juniors, but it sort of gives us an opportunity to continue the discussion we had earlier about being able to take chances, being able to cover only 20% of the court to sort of create the good opportunities, and to be able to do that, of course, you need a partner who can cover 80%, and And therefore, it's interesting that they've chosen a quite successful singles player to play the women's doubles.
5-all.
In Europe, in my opinion, there's been a tendency that you play the doubles if you don't move well enough to play the singles. But I think maybe those days are over. You need to be an athlete in doubles as well.
Yeah, very much so. It's interesting though, because I mean, a certain Peter Gader won the World Junior Championship in men's doubles with Peter Nissen.
That's
was
right.
it, in '94 in Jakarta.
Yeah.
I think that was, and of course he's turned out to be one of the greatest singles players of all time. I mean, his longevity in singles is quite remarkable. Just gone down to number 5 in the world ranking. But I think in junior development, as development of young players in general, playing more than one discipline, I'm a great believer that it helps build them into all-round badminton player, and I think it should be encouraged until a certain age where you have to start specializing.
Yeah, I agree, because we have a good example in Denmark now with one of the.
Did he call a double hit?
Service over.
I think so.
7-6.
Wow. Not quite sure what happened there. Sorry, Steen, to interrupt you on that. Tell us more about what's happening in Denmark.
Yeah, we have a talented young girl called Line Kersfeldt.
Service over. 7-all.
She's playing well in all 3 categories, and there's been some discussion on if you should play the singles or the doubles, and perhaps even play the singles and the mixed. And that's interesting, because at a certain age you have to decide, because you can't play on both the singles practice and the doubles practice. So you can easily play both categories in tournaments for 1 year or 2 year extra, but you're going to have to decide on the practice, because otherwise you'll fall behind in both categories.
Yeah, so just to explain that a little bit further, when you talk about different practice, singles players practice different shots, different types of movement, but you can play doubles and mixed doubles, because in your style of shot, the technicalities of the shot and the technicalities of the movement, very similar in doubles and mixed, but the crossover between either doubles and singles is just too great.
Exactly. And even in the men's mixed doubles and men's doubles, we see more and more mixed doubles players, male mixed doubles players specializing.
Yeah.
9-8.
Well, we thought this might be quite close. And indeed, it's proving to be.
Service over. 9-all.
Supporting her teammates. Oh, it's a very good rally and a good finish in the end from Matsutomo.
Great play from both sides here. Smart play from the Americans, trying to keep the shuttle low.
So it's the Japanese there have a 2-point advantage at the mid-game interval. Yeah.
That was the coach's nightmare. The American coach just stumbled over the commercial boards. And you just hate it when that happens.
That sounds like a voice of experience.
Exactly.
对？那我们打球杀的时候要注意杀点，注意杀点，不行打高球。你就打比赛当中就看对方什么时候球过来，你们不怕，你们多打这种球。
Court 1,
怎么样？
20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
How's your Chinese?
A little bit rusty. I was too busy watching the coach leave the court, but he took another way. He took the safe way out. Probably felt that he had a lot to say here. It's quite a close first part, so
11-9.
needed all the time he could get.
Yeah, the more I watch this youngster, there she is, Matsutomo, the more impressed I am with her.
Good read.
Yeah. She was already anticipating, wasn't she, as her partner was hitting the shuttle. She was already moving to where she believed the shuttle was going to end up. That's called good.
13-9.
Oof. Was it?
I didn't watch the replay.
It's a good rally again. Well, she may have missed that last one, but it couldn't help but think, Steen, about what you talked about in the first women's doubles, that you wanted to see players, when they were defending, standing their ground and then immediately having either blocked the shuttle or driven it, move forward to the net. I think Matsutomo was doing that quite beautifully in that rally.
Service over. 14-10.
We can see that very often the defense is a long defense, so the front court player could easily cover a little bit more of the back court and then just lift it if they play the net. Just lift it, yeah.
Yeah, her defensive shot moved in again. That's well long of the back line.
Service over. 11-14.
Sisters are a neat little doubles pair though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're sort of instrumental for the American team, together with the first ladies doubles. Quite surprisingly, they beat Canada in the qualification for this event.
Of course, they were playing on home ground. Qualification of the Pan American continent played in Los Angeles. This is a good little spell.
14.
Just 1 point the deficit. Just missed it.
Service over. 15-13.
Good use of the mid-court area. Just guiding the shuttle, keeping it flat over the net, getting it past the net player, but still landing in front of the rear court player. Brilliance. Matsutomo once again dominant at the front of the court. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Oh, what a rally. And what a pity it had to end in an error. Well, quite clearly the longest rally of the match.
And the best rally. These kind of rallies, they're quite nice if there's just a few of them. If it's all these rallies, it's a little bit boring, but now it's nice.
Oh, come now, Steen. I love to see rallies like that, and if they're happening all the time. Now that I don't like to see, clear after clear in doubles. I like to see the attacking play.
Two good rallies from the Wang sisters here after losing that long rally, coming back and taking the next two very, very important.
Yeah, and so it shows good character, doesn't it? After losing a long rally, to then come back, keep your concentration and your focus, keep your spirits up. Five game point opportunities now, though, for the Japanese pair. That's short. Oh. Error from Rena. Wang gifts the opening game. 21-15 confirms the umpire. And some very good rallies in that opening game. The Japanese pair of Matsutomo and Takahashi. Very happy to secure that game. 16 minutes of play.
I was actually able to hear what he was saying this time. He said, stay focused, keep working hard, and go for the chances at the front court.
Well, interesting that the Americans yet to use a flick serve. We always talk in doubles about how important it is to mix up the serves. Not just a low or flick serve, but also the angle of the serve, whether you serve to the tee, or whether you serve out wide. Varying it just slightly often draws benefit.
20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
20 seconds, says the umpire. That's always a sign that the coaches should leave the court. Players should get ready to resume play.
I actually think that the service situation is a development area, because as we saw here, there's a lot of players serving almost all the time, serving short services. And there really isn't any good explanation why that is, because if you can make a good flick serve, you give the opponents an opportunity to sort of make a stupid decision and sort of open up for counterattack already in the beginning of the rally. But still, most players stick to the short services.
Yeah, she really is very sharp at the net. Matsutomo.
Clearly the favorite Japanese position is Matsutomo at the net, and Takahashi working from the back court.
Whilst it's favoured formations in the development of a pair, do you encourage work on both areas? I mean, I'm thinking of the current world champions, for instance, in the men's doubles, Kai Yun and Fu Haifeng. There's very definitely a favoured formation, which is the tall left-hander, Fu Haifeng at the back of the court using his power smash, Kai Yun using his speed at the front. Is it a good thing to have a favoured formation, or is it better to have a pair that really can play in any position?
Yeah. I think every pair has an optimal formation, but the ease that you can play different positions is of course difficult from pair to pair. I think it's quite necessary to practice also the position that you're a little bit unfamiliar with. One of the improvements of Fu Haifeng and Kai Yun was when Fu Haifeng, what a great rally.
Well, that was an extraordinary net shot. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you wholeheartedly. As we see that again, how she got that back, I don't know. But Fu Haifeng suddenly worked on his net play, and I think that's when the top Chinese pair really started to dominate world badminton again. So, you know, I'm a great believer that whilst there may be a favoured formation, you've got to have the capability to be a front court player as well as a rear court player.
I totally agree, because otherwise they're too big areas that can be exploited.
Yeah.
6-0.
Well, a 6-0 lead at the start of the second, but we've once again seen some very, very good rallies. Judgment. American sisters have just lost their way at the moment. Crowd offering encouragement. Their first point on the board here in the second game. She really puts so much pressure on opponents, doesn't she, Matsutomo? That's a good return of serve.
Service over.
But a little bit unexpected development here in the second game. Would have expected the Americans to be a little bit closer, but a lot of errors.
Yeah. Speaking of which, service error, an obvious disappointment from Rena Wang, but it means that there is a 9-point advantage in the game interval in favour of the Japanese pair.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Big surprise, of course, Steen, the fact that this Japanese pair here at all at the Yuba Cup. Of course, Maeda and Suetsuna,
11-2, play.
second highest ranked Japanese pair, left at home.
Yeah, that's surprising. Could be future development or preparation for the Olympics, or it could also be a sign that they're not going to the Olympics.
Well, Richard and I were talking about it earlier, and you know, I felt that because there'd been such a battle with the top Japanese pairs as to who would be the top two to actually qualify. In fact, there's 3 pairs in the top 8, and therefore, in essence, the Japanese can select 2 of those 3 pairs. And I wondered whether perhaps Suetsuna, especially, who's already undergone 1 knee surgery, whether they were perhaps trying to rest her and prepare her for the Olympic Games. But you're right, it may possibly be that a sign that something more sinister. That's a good rally again. Yeah.
13-2.
Good work by the Japanese pair here.
Oh, delightful. This awareness, Steen, that Matsutomo appears to have, not only for reading where the shuttle's going to come, but also seeing the gaps on court. Is that all instinctive, or is that something you can coach?
Well, that opens up a big discussion, because there's some research saying that there's no such thing as talent. It's just hard work, and the more you've been in the hole, the more badminton matches you've seen, the better your eye for the game is, so to speak. But normally I'd like to see it as some kind of talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on your side 100% on that. Two. Oh. Good smash. Now or never as far as the Americans are concerned.
Service over. 17.
There we saw the flick serve and the smash from the Japanese girl and the cross-court pickup. And it actually created an opportunity for the American pair. They weren't able to take it, but the opportunity was there. So I think a lot of ladies doubles pairings need to rethink how they're going to score points.
Great rally. Short. Yeah. Oh, it's lovely, lovely play from all four players on court. You know, you watch a rally like that, the Americans are in it the whole time. In fact, they were making the run in the early stages of that rally, but they just seem unable to finish it off with the efficiency of the Japanese pair, who are now just 3 points away from winning the second game. Now, what's happening here? I can tell you, though we're not seeing it, that the Americans having a long discussion with the umpire. Did you know what that was about?
No, I think maybe she wanted to...
Towel down?
Yeah.
The umpire saying no.
Service over. 4-18.
Perhaps a little harsh, seeing as the two Americans have both played singles.
And they're behind 18-3.
And after a long, hard rally
Yes.
like that, we're a couple of softies, aren't we, really?
Exactly. I think if we look back at this game, it all went wrong when the coach tripped over the advertising boards. They played excellent until that happened.
Oh, it's called good. I wasn't completely convinced by that. I'm looking virtually straight down that line. Oh, phenomenal.
That's great.
Well, just to prove that she's just as good at the net, Takahashi finishes it off superbly well. 15 match points.
Service over. 6-20.
Yeah. Final last hurrah from the
20.
American pair. Oh, she's got it back. But couldn't keep the defence going. And that means a 21-15, 21-7 victory for the Japanese pair of Matsutomo and Takahashi. And of course, for Japan, that completes a 5-love victory in the overall tie. They are, of course, the number 2 seeds here at the Uber Cup Finals. Produced badminton today that's fitting for number 2 seeds. Their confirmation, 33 minutes for that scoreline, 21-15, 21-7. So they're the statistics for game number 2. Once again, the overhead winners and winners from the net, absolutely crucial in doubles and very much in favour of the Japanese pair.